Hey, how you doing? Hope you all are doing great. As you've seen in the thumbnail, in this video, we're going to see what if Naruto got into harem with Zelda. This is part 4, and before getting into video, I request you to check the author of this fanfic and show some love and support. Name of the story is The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess Tremor 230 style by Tremor 230, do check it. All details in description. And if you want next part of this series, please leave a like, share, and consider subscribe. Let's get into the video. Also check out Patreon for uncensored spicy content. Link in description. Deep inside the Death Mountain, Gorn mines, there were lava, fire, and brimstone everywhere I could see. The very air seemed so hot to melt steel, and to complete the lovely image, numerous tremors kept shaking the whole area, making huge rocks fall from the ceiling that in turn would spray magma everywhere with a dull spluck. Noise once reached the lake worth of molten rock, taking most of the mine's floor. With a barely audible tapping of well-trained feet, the blonde hero jumped from the ceiling after having been forced to open his way there with a Rasengan to clear his path from rocks. And something told him that it wouldn't have been a rare occurrence being forced to use brute strength to make his way towards the deepest parts of that hellish dungeon. I already hate this place, Asakushi muttered in distaste. What do you think, Naruto? Midna asked from the young man's shadow. This place sucks, just look at that. There is barely a floor down there to walk on, and fucking pillars of flames and magma are randomly rising from the cracks. Sigh. Considering this, Heath, I wouldn't mind a nice, cold, lemon-flavored kakigori shave ice now. Naruto answered with a defeated sigh. Be strong. You can do thai. Midna was about to answer when words died in her throat. What? The blonde asked while sealing away the upper half of his jumpsuit, and the cloak thus remaining bare-chested. Ghoul. The imp girl muttered, transfixed as her eyes traced every inch of his sweating chest. Put at least a shirt on. You are liquefying the brain of the little pervert, the tin-tailed vixen said in dismay. Then why you are not afflicted? He asked. Please. I saw you grow up. She answered, smirking. Yes, sorry if I thought. I practically knew your body's every detail by the second shower after you returned from your training trip with the toad pervert. She finished saying. Never mind, the shinobi said, sighing while begrudgingly wearing a simple sleeveless shirt. Gwa. Ah, where were we? Midna asked once having recomposed herself. Gorn Mines, mission about saving the leader of the Gorn tribe, so to have the bastards open their minds once again to the villagers down in Kakariko, Naruto answered. Oh yes. Carry on then. The imp answered, nodding. With a last chuckle at the girl's antics, the shinobi kicked up speed towards the other end of the room, carefully avoiding fallen rocks, pillars of flames, and the strange slug-like creatures that seemed to be made of living magma themselves. Although Naruto had to admit that those could have been considered cute had they not tried to kill him at every given occasion. Pressure plates everywhere that activate just for a very short time. Do you think they just added them so to stop Darbus? He asked. I hope so. Otherwise, working here would be the worst job ever. Atsukushi answered, shrugging. What is that thing? The blonde asked once entered the new room and pointing at the towering contraption in the middle. It should be a huge magnet, Midna answered. Oh, cool. Can we please go on? I am bathing in my sweat here. Continuing on their quest and encountering things like bubblins and giant fire-breathing lizards that Naruto simply tossed down into the lava in his hurry to go on. The shinobi and the two girls arrived in a wide room, dominated to their horror by a big ring for sumo contests where an old man was already waiting with a surprised smile on his face. Oh, I thought I felt an imposing presence. But what a surprise to find a young human, the Gorin midget said in amusement. I hope you know why exactly I am here, Naruto said with a groan, while already imagining what their talk will soon lead to. Yes, word has come to me of you as well. And if Gor Koran has faith in you, then your heart must be true. The old Gorin answered, nodding. Yes, Gorin-san, and I, Gorimoto. I am one of the 4 Gorin elders, youngster. Gorin-san was my father. The old man said. Oh, okay. Sorry for the mistake, the other answered with a sweat drop. If you were ready to come here just to help us, young human, it means that you truly are heroic. Please, you must lend this tribe your power, Gorimoto asked. I'll do everything I can. Trust me, Naruto said in determination. Then take this, it's one of the 3 parts of the key that will take you to Darbus prison. Pay attention, these mines are not as safe as they used to be back in the days. the old Gorin said. Talk to the other elders to get their key shards. You must hurry. Goromoto said, okay. You know, for an instant I thought you were going to force me into a sumo contest for the key shard. Naruto said, chuckling. Well, I know we can't waste time, but I was feeling kind of alone and bored, so if it is not a problem. The old Gorin answered with a casual tone of voice. Oh, look at the time. I better hurry up. Darbus won't save himself. Bye, old man. And thanks for the key. Naruto answered before sprinting out of the room at top speed. Grabbing a map from the wall before the door could completely close behind him. Goromoto could only sigh in answer to that before returning to his solitary duty as a guard for that part of the mines. But good spirits if he was bored. Meanwhile, near the entrance of Kakariko village, Jiraiya was slowly, ever so cautiously, nearing the small town after being told about the recent events in which most of the population had disappeared overnight. But the very scarce info he had also gathered about a young man, scarily resembling Naruto, moving towards the place had been more than enough for the Toad Sage to go in there. I don't like this place. Ma and Pa said that something is corrupting Hyrule's natural chakra, and now I can sense it even without being in Sage mode. Whatever happened here has left behind traces, the spy master muttered while scanning his surroundings. Can I help you? Rinnedu asked from behind the Sannin, and almost making Jiraiya jump out of his own skin in surprise. What the fuck off? I mean, I am looking for an old friend of mine that got lost. His name is Naruto Namikaze. Do you know him? He answered. Naruto. Sorry, the name is new to me. He is not from here, perhaps? The man answered while discreetly clutching with an iron grip the short letter in his pocket that he got from Bo about keeping Naruto's movements secret and a brief description of the spy master and his mission. I see, but what happened here? The village seems dead. Jiraiya asked. We are living a time of deep sorrow and tragedy here, stranger. Excluding me, my daughter, and another man, everyone else got captured. We prefer not to think about what happened to them. Rinnedu answered. Sorry if I asked. The name is Jiraiya. I come from Konoha, Naruto's home village, and I want to bring him back, the Toad Sage answered. You mean that he escaped? Why would he do so? He just overreacted a bit. He will be happy to return home to his old life. I am sure of it. Jiraiya answered, smirking. Then I hope that your paths will cross soon. It's always sad to see two friends get separated, Rinnedu said with his most convincing smile. I really hope so. He must return, but why don't you come with me? You must be tired after walking all day. You look like someone that would appreciate a little rest, Rinnedu offered. Just 5 minutes. I am in a hurry, Jiraiya answered with a grateful nod. Don't worry, my daughter is an excellent cook. We are giving hospitality to the kids of Orden while we wait for their village to organize their transportation back home, so we won't be alone. The kids of Orden? They are here? Jiraiya asked with raised eyebrows. I have found them not long ago after they apparently escaped their captors. They are all safe, Rinnedu answered. Need in hand to escort them back there? I can protect them. There is no need. We are already coordinating everything and have a friend that will act as guard. He will be strong enough to protect them, the other answered. Really? Yes. Link is more strong than people may think at first glance, Rinnedu answered, smirking at using the blonde's new surname. What about the other survivor? Where is he? Jiraiya asked. You mean Barnes? He is indisposed, but nothing of importance. Now come. Lunch must be ready by now, Rinnedu said while pretty much pushing Jiraiya towards his home. In truth, Barnes had been tied up and mouth-gagged as soon as Talo had seen Jiraiya nearing Kakariko, and now the bomb expert was hidden in a closet in the back of Renato's place and guarded by the other kids, just in case the man could accidentally spill some information about the only one apparently able to resolve their problems with the Gorin, and Hyrule in general. Back with Naruto, Gorin mines. You know? It's kind of funny after all. Sure, the boots make a lot of noise at every step, but it's cool to walk on the ceiling without using chakra, Naruto said while calmly walking upside down thanks to the iron boots and the magnetic stone covering the top of the room he was in. I think that you were just being lazy and using the fun of the boots as an excuse to not use chakra, Utsukushi answered with a smirk. I thought you loved me. Utsu-chan, what happened? The blonde said, whining. And I do love you, you dummy. Just focus on this thing. I am already tired to stay here, the vixen answered. TCH. Disgusting. He is wasted with someone like you, furball. He should just drop you and stay with me, Midna muttered with narrowed eyes. Say that again, you impish bitch. Utsukushi whispered back. Girls? Naruto asked in worry. Nothing. Nothing. Both answered with their best innocent expression. Stick to the plan. Stick to the plan, and make her believe you'll share Naruto. You'll deal with the furball once everything is done, and he is yours. Midna thought, mentally berating herself for forgetting her plans to deal with the Biju vixen. Okay, looks like other Boblins are here, the shinobi said as the three green-skinned creatures kept following his every movement while showing their own weapons in a threatening manner. Really? Really? Sigh. Samahata, it's time to eat, Naruto said, sighing while unwrapping the living blade and showing to the Boblins how the sword happily licked its fanged mouth in anticipation. Grew. One of the Boblin moaned/groaned in disbelief while watching the blonde charge towards them with a cheerful smile, and Samahata held high above his head. A short, gory spectacle of Bulbulin's organs and blood flying everywhere. Later, Naruto found himself in a part of the mines outside the mountain. Behind him, the remnants of the umpteenth door he just blasted to bits with his trusty Rasengan. I don't think that you were supposed to blow up every door we meet. There must be a key hidden somewhere that we just need to find, Midna said. But that would be a waste of time. And hey, if A and Mato Guy can enter rooms by blasting down walls, I think I can very well tear down a door or two in a dungeon filled with monsters. If they ask, we can always blame the Bulblins, the blonde answered, shrugging. I am more curious about how someone without ninja training would have been able to pass all those pits with lava we left behind, Utsukushi said. Probably by using the iron boots and that blue stone that acts like a magnet. One could possibly pass from a magnet to the other or walk underwater to find keys, levers, and those pressure plates that needs a ton to activate, Naruto answered. Meh, a waste of time and an annoyance wrapped into one. Boring, the vixen said with a grimace. Guys, those Bulblins are shooting arrows at us, the imp girl said, sighing. So? Naruto asked as he kept sidestepping each projectile while walking towards the Bulblins and up the wall towards the now scared creatures. Never mind, the small girl muttered while ignoring the Bulblins' pleas of mercy as they got beaten into oblivion. Help! A young voice screamed in fright. What the? Naruto muttered. It came from down there, Midna said as she came out of his shadow to point at a young girl with fiery red hair that had been cornered by for Bulblins and was being slowly crawling away from them. Hang in there, I am coming. Gabunse no Jutsu. Shadow clone technique, the young man said while creating 4 copies of himself and joining the scene. Kaiwaya. Just an instant before the young girl, a female Gorin from the looks of it, could fall over the railing, and all the way down the blonde shinobi's hand shot forward, grabbing hers and stopping her fall. You okay? He asked. You. What's a human doing here? And those monsters? She asked with wide eyes. In answer, the 4 Bulblins that were harassing her came flying down around her as the clones had finished beating them into a paste. I took care of them as well. Now get ready, I'm going to pick you up, so hold tight, Naruto answered. I don't need your help, she tried to say before her savior gave a strong pull that managed to take her back on the ground. Unfortunately, her being heavier than what she looked had Naruto lose balance and fell down with the girl on top of him. I know how these things work, so I'll clarify immediately. I just didn't take in consideration that as a Gorin, you probably weigh more than a human of the same height. I was not trying anything funny, Naruto said as fast as he could while retaining a calm expression and a calm tone of voice. Then why you're not moving away? She whispered in embarrassment. I have a rock-made girl straddling me, and any movement of my hands might be misinterpreted as perverted, he answered, silently hoping that her face getting red was not a signal of embarrassment like with human girls. Those ones tended to hit hard to hide their blushing, and this one was pretty much made of rocks. I was just checking that you were all right. Nothing else. Humans are frail, and those were 4 monsters. Now get up, she said as she scrambled to her feet and crossed her arms, huffing. Oh, thank you then, Naruto said while pretending to believe her lie and finally rising to his feet. Damn, you are tall, the girl muttered to herself. She was at least a feet shorter than him and fairly doll-like when put in comparison to him, especially with her petite frame and slender build. Thank you. But what were you doing out here? Naruto asked, chuckling, having learned himself that underlying short girls' lack of height was a bad idea. I sneaked in to help Darbus. If no one wants to save him, then I will. Even if I am not a warrior, she answered. I am here for the same reason, the young man said. You? Don't make me laugh. You won't reach where they can find him, she answered, scoffing. You really think so? Naruto asked with a challenging smile. And you ask? The mere idea of a human doing what only a Gorin can is simply Rasengan. Naruto yelled while thrusting the spiraling sphere on a near stone as tall as he was and reducing it to dust in an instant. Ridiculous, the girl finished saying with her eyes flying wide open. Do you know where the second elder is? I need part of the key, the blonde asked. You already have a piece? She asked, surprised. Here it is, he answered while showing the key shard with a wide smirk on his face. Wow. Well, you just got lucky. But you should thank the spirits now that I am here to help you, she said. Help me? Of course. Luck helped up until now, but there is no way you will be able to do the rest without a Gorin helping you. And I, Gormane, shall be the one that will help you with everything your clueless human mind won't be able to comprehend. Gormane answered in smug pride. I already hate her, Utsukushi said. Ditto, can we kill her? Midna added, nodding. Can I just call you Mine? Naruto asked. Why? Because it's cuter like that, he answered, smirking. Shut up. Just because you helped me doesn't mean that I owe you anything, she said in anger. Not even a thank you? The blonde asked with his best kick dog expression. Ugh. Mine groaned as if the expression had physically hit her. Fine. Thank you for saving me. And not that I needed help, she then said before looking away with a red face. Good. Now if you excuse me, I have a key shard to recover, he said before walking away. Wait, I am coming with you, remember? The girl said while walking at his side. To be honest, I hope she forgot that part. That's dead weight we don't need, Midna said, grumbling. Yeah, and she is giving me some Tsundere vibes that are not making me feel comfortable, the ten-tailed vixen added. What's it, Tsundere? The imp girl asked. Girls, please. Naruto mentally pleaded. You okay? You were spacing out, Mine asked. Things with me are kind of complicated. Let's just say that I have more inside my head than what normal people normally has, the blonde replied, sighing. Oh, do you need help then? The Gorin girl said. Nah, it's okay. Nothing I am not used to face on a daily basis, the other answered, chuckling as the two entered a new room. Oh, the young human. I am pleased to see you make it this far, Brutta. Gormane? What are you doing here instead? This is no place for young women, the very old-looking Gorin in the middle of the room said with a wheezing voice. I have my reasons to come here. Gorebizo, I won't leave Darbus down there. Gormane answered in anger. While you two argue, I would appreciate taking the second piece of the key if you don't mind, old man. Naruto said. Don't you worry, Brutta. She will stay here with me and then return to the safe caves with the other girls and young Gorins. Now is not time to play heroes. Gorebizo answered, nodding, surprising the blonde by snatching Minea's ear in the strong grip of his deceptively frail hand. Ouch! Let me go, the girl said with a childish whine. You must have heard the plight of our patriarch. Otherwise, you would not have come to see me. I am very grateful for what you are doing for us, the old Gorin said with a low bow of his head. It's nothing, old man. I couldn't stand the idea of seeing Darbus abandoned like that, the blonde answered with a gentle smile. Wow. Mine muttered in surprise. Well said, Brutta. Here, take this, Gorebizo said with an appreciative smile while handling the second part of the key to the blonde. Thanks, I'll be on my way then. Keep Mine safe, though. She just wanted to help, Naruto answered, bowing. Don't worry, Brutta. She won't go anywhere, the old Gorin answered while freezing Mine on the spot near him with a glare. Take care, the shinobi said to the girl before rapidly moving deeper in the mines. Before you go, there is something that may help you down there. It's a weapon said to have been left in this mine by a hero of old. It is beyond price, and so we have protected it through generations. But we are in deep trouble, so I think we can make an exception. Look for it up ahead where it is stored. Talk to the guards, and take it with you with the blessing of the Gorins. I'll make sure to have them keep it at hand for when you'll arrive. The Gorin elder said. Okay. Thank you, the blonde said with an uncertain smile before leaving the room for real. Should we tell them that we kind of like to do things our way? We risk collecting a lot of junk we will never use otherwise, Utsukushi said. I wouldn't call it junk since they apparently keep that thing in high regard, Midna said. Let's just take that and store it away. It would look bad if we ignore they're trying to help us. And it's all stuff that may even come in handy in case of emergency, Naruto mentally replied. Like the wind boomerang we found in the woods? The vixen asked back. That thing will stay sealed in the scroll until the fairy inside it will learn that sexual harassment is still a crime nowadays, the young man answered, shivering. Back to Gorebizo. That human. He has the same spirit of a Goron, as hard as the rocks and hotter than lava itself. A total waste for him to be born human. He would have been one damn fine chief otherwise. Gore Ebizo muttered while distractingly passing a hand on his beard. Gourmet? He said after finally noticing his empty hand that was supposed to hold the young girl's arm. Oh, for Quart's sake. The old Goron cursed with a loud growl. With Naruto, blue stone that act as a magnet, here above a lake of lava, and a gate that closed behind us as soon as we passed the door. What is this, some kind of boss fight? Naruto muttered with a groan. Mini-boss more likely, and we casually have what we would need to win had we not ninja training backing us. This can't be right. We can't possibly be so lucky to find just what we need to pass a dungeon and its guardian in that very same dungeon. It's like an invitation for whoever enters to take everything that they are guarding. Utsukushi said in disbelief. Calm down. I am sure that this was an isolated case. I am certain that we won't keep finding exactly the right gadget to pass a trial or defeat a boss every time, Naruto said, trying to calm the vixen down. Well, that would be stupid, yeah. As if that would ever be the norm in Hyrule or elsewhere. Midna said, although while stealing glances left and right in discomfort. Whoa, human? And huge Goron covered in a thick armor said with wide eyes. Thea, Goron? Naruto replied in sarcasm. You are not funny. What business does a human have coming here? None. No business. I guess that old man forgot to alert this guy of our arrival. Midna said, you don't say. Let me pass. You don't know what I am capable of, so do not challenge me blindly, Naruto said with a calm and yet warning tone. What you are capable of? Ah, this is a forbidden place. I will protect this treasure from you. The Goron answered with narrowed eyes while cracking his metal-covered knuckles. With a mighty yell, the creature jumped high and landed with a heavy bang on the suspended arena of rock, snapping the thin chains holding it and making the whole thing fall down in the lava where it stood floating precariously. I hate you. I hate so much, Naruto said simply. The thing is mutual. Now fight or go away. The armored Goron screamed before cocking back a massive fist. Now you are in trouble. I won't play nice, bastard, Naruto growled while taking his own fighting stance. Take this. The Goron screamed while moving through a devastating right hook he hoped would have destroyed the human in one hit. To his surprise, the blonde caught the punch without even flinching, spun around, and used the whole arm as leverage to throw the way bigger than him Goron up in the air and down in the lava, enticing and high-pitched WCH from the colossal guardian that immediately jumped out of lava, showing only a badly burned backside from the unexpected bath in the molten rock. You guys are tougher than humans. I should have expected you to survive lava, the former shinobi said, smirking. And you are stronger than humans should be. The other growled while still nursing his wounded posterior. Want to quit? I won't judge you. I'm not here to fight, but to help Darbus now that no one else apparently can, Naruto offered. Help our chief? Then I need to continue. If you can defeat me, then I'll know that you will be strong enough to help Darbus, the Goron replied while folding his own body into a ball and spinning in place. Now fight me and give me your best shot, he then said before shooting forward at max speed. Uff! The blonde groaned as he managed to stop the bullet-fast Goron that still kept spinning and trying to push him away, making the shinobi's feet crack the rock under him out of the sheer pressure. Gee, you sure are pushing, the young man said with an approving smile before moving back a leg and focusing as much chakra as he could on his muscles. But I still need to move on, so let me pass, Naruto said before kicking the spinning Goron as strongly he could and launching it all the way back and in the lava again. Kaya! The scream this time reached the scared 5-year-old girl, tone as the huge rock-made warrior managed to jump once again out of the fiery lake surrounding the small platform, only to find a smirking Naruto already waiting for him with a Rasengan in his hand. Whyyyyyyyy? The Goron asked with a whine as he fell towards the blonde. Because deep inside I do enjoy being a bastard, Rasengan, Naruto answered as he slammed the spiraling sphere of chakra on the Goron's chest, obliterating part of his armor and launching him a third time in the molten rock. Now, that was just petty. You shouldn't be that mean to him. He was just doing his job, Utsukushi said with a chastising tone, while watching the now charred black Goron climb back on the platform and drag himself all the way to Naruto before collapsing. He was even waving a little white flag for good measure, just to spare himself a new bath in the magma. You are right. Sorry, big guy. I just got carried away and overdid. I am sorry, the blonde admitted with a sheepish expression. It's fine. That just, ugh, hurt a lot, but I'll be fine. Who knew that humans were capable of such feats of strength? Maybe you will really be able to save the patriarch of our tribe. The Goron said while tiredly rising to his feet. Yes, I need something that is hidden deep inside your minds. That and actually help Kakariko village to once again have the permission to use part of your minds. Helping Darbus is what I offered in exchange. What helped me decide to help you was the fact that I couldn't accept to know how he had been sealed down there by his very people and do not help him. The blonde answered, nodding. In that case, take the weapon of the hero of the past, and there are no perverted spirits inside, right? The former shinobi asked in worry. What question is that? The Goron asked with raised eyebrows. Never mind. The other replied. Whatever, just save the patriarch of our tribe, is all I ask, the stone giant said while signaling something to a pair of Gorons hidden in the upper side of the room. With a faraway clanging of metal, the level of lava moved up enough to bring the platform both were on back at the same height of the two doors of the room, now free of gates blocking them. Let me guess, we had an audience the whole time, Naruto said, grinning. We love to have sumo contests, and something tells me that for once the bets were against me, the Goron answered, nodding. It depends if between the ones watching there were people I had the occasion to fight with. Nice round, buddy, you are strong. The blonde replied. Thanks, you are not bad either. For an human, the other answered. Dude, I am a shinobi. From where I come from, they breed us to be this awesome. I'm just a little bit more badass than normal, Naruto replied with a shrug and a long laugh while leaving. Modest, aren't we? Utsukushi said, laughing herself. I don't know. Considering what he can do, one could almost condone that as well-deserved smugness from a more Hylian point of view. Even if it is still annoying, Midna muttered. Oh, shut up you two. Let me brag in peace at least for once. I can't always be the humble hero. I am human too, Naruto said, whining while opening the chest in the new room with a kick to see an highly ornate bow resting inside it. Meh, never was one for bows. What about you, Midna? He asked. Have you seen me? Do you think that something like me can use that? The imp girl asked back with a voice sounding actually hurt. Why? I can't see anything strange in how you look. I find you just terribly cute, Naruto answered with a wide smile, actually hugging her tightly as soon as her shadowy figure emerged from his own shadow. Idiot. But yes, I do have some experience with bows, the blushing girl answered while her mind briefly flashed back to some short memories of her youth. Cool. Then you can take it if you want, he answered. May as well, Midna said before making the bow disappear with a snapping of her fingers. And that bridge in front of us? Utsukushi asked. Ninja solution, Naruto answered as with a rapid throw of a kunai, he snapped the ropes, keeping the small bridge in front of him slammed down to show a new door. Let's go. We still have Darbus to find and the new piece of fused shadow to recover, Midna said before re-entering the blonde shadow. Roger. Once entered the new room, the former shinobi of Konoha couldn't stop the nagging feeling on the back of his mind that someone or something was silently watching his every move. The almost supernatural silence reigning in the ample area, not helping the young man's nerves. Those statues are watching us, Utsukushi muttered with narrowed eyes. The statues are following us, Naruto answered as he too noticed how the squared totems kept turning around to follow his every movement with the flaming red eye on top of each of them. What is this bubbling sound? Midna muttered. I don't know, KYA. The blonde was saying before a pressurized stream of lava came flying out of one of the statues, missing his face of an inch. This in turn prompted the rest of the statues to do the same immediately after, all of those trying to fry the former shinobi alive at the same time. Behind you, Utsukushi yelled. From the right, Midna added. No, from the left, the vixen answered. In front of you, / in front of you, both said at the same time. Stop helping him, Naruto yelled back. Back on the surface, with Gorkoron. Elder Gorkoron? One of the guards asked with his eyes flying wide open. Yes? The old man said. Did you? Well, did you remember to disable the traps protecting the route towards Darbus? The Goron guard asked. Not personally, but I tasked Gorgoro here to do that for me, Gorkoron answered. Me? I thought it was Gorbaboro's duty. The other guards answered dumbfounded. What? Me? The third guard asked in surprise. So, if no one of us disabled those traps then? Oh, Gorkoron said before realization struck him. Oops. The various guards said in chorus with a sheepish expression. For the love of gold, did you people actually listen when I asked something? Back in my days, those things never happened. Wake up, brothers. Now we'll get an earful from that human once he comes out. And I am not taking the blame for this. The Goron elder roared. If he comes back, one of the guards muttered. Oh, I am pretty sure he will instead. Even just to chew our heads off before dying. The old Goron replied bitterly. Back to Naruto. Hurrah! The blonde roared as he resurfaced from the ruins of the room. The whole area had been destroyed beyond recognition as he had went apocalyptic on the various statues that were now just mere piles of rocks scattered everywhere. I hate this place. The heavily panting young man said with a broken voice, speaking of an incoming nervous breakdown while moving out of the room. Please calm down. Atsukushi muttered in worry. I am calm. I know my inner peace. And I am perfectly calm, he answered while taking deep breaths. Oh, you are here at last. I heard that you might pay a visit. Young human, I am far-sighted in all things. The Goron elder said with a calm smile once the bond entered his room. But you are kind of deaf when someone is yelling about burning alive right out of your door, Naruto muttered with a glare. You seem to be dealing with it pretty well by yourself, the elder answered, shrugging. It was nothing compared by what I had to do in the past, that's true, but this doesn't mean that I actually enjoy being put into situations where my life is in danger. The other answered. At least you won't let your abilities rust from not using them. Here is the last key shard. With this you will be able to combine the others to create the key to reach Darba's room, the old Goron said. Okay, fine, whatever. Let's see. This should go. Here? Ah, here it is. Naruto muttered while trying to connect the 3 shards. We don't know how powerful Darbus is in his new grotesque form, but I suppose I should trust your power considering you came this far. It had been more annoying than difficult, Atsukushi muttered. SSSH. Don't tempt fate. Midna hissed while glaring the vixen into silence. Oh well, I guess now I only need to reach your patriarch now, Naruto said, sighing. Pay attention, and may the spirits protect and guide you, the elder Goron said while watching the former shinobi leave his room. Big deal. How far may that place be by now? It seems like ages since I entered here. To the blonde's dismay, the path towards Darbus was still long, forcing him to pass through new rooms with barely any floor remaining after the various shocks destroyed everything and hordes of Bulblins that apparently still thought to have a chance against the former shinobi. This should be the place. The massive gate with the huge-ass lock can't be any more clear about it, Naruto said with an elated smile. Finally, now enter in there. Kick that idiot's ass and let's go away. All this heath is starting to ruin my fur, Atsukushi said happily. I know your pain, Midna muttered while looking at her hair with a tiny sniffle. Women, the blonde muttered, sighing. To the small group's surprise, as soon as the door closed behind them, every noises ceased, making the loud snoring of the giant imposing figure chained in the middle of the room echo in an eerie manner along the slow and soft steps of the blonde shinobi. Here he is. He doesn't look like a Goron anymore, though, Naruto said, whispering. The fragment of fused shadows has completely corrupted him. I don't know if we will be able to separate the two without the Goron dying in the process, Midna said. I will still try to help him, the young man answered. Still, let's move quietly and don't wake him up. We need the element of surprise, the 10-tailed vixen said. Darbus, a young voice screamed in horror as a petite body ran past Naruto and neared the grumbling giant. Oh, for fuck's sake, Naruto yelled as in a flash of light the transformed Goron woke up and covered himself in dark flames. Darbus, it's me, Gormane, the girl pleaded before screaming in fright as the monster broke the chains holding him and tried to grab her. Mane! Naruto yelled as he had barely the time to take her away before the Twilight Igniter could squash both. Kaiya. To the human? The Goron girl muttered once, finally opening her eyes to look at her savior. The name is Naruto, but why are you here? He asked, still holding her in his arms, while dodging the heated-up chains Phyrus was using as whips to attack him with. I wanted to help him. I thought that he would have remembered me and turned back to normal. What happened to him? He turned into a monster. Gormane asked, scared. He is under the influence of an artifact that he should not have touched, but I will bring him back, promise, Naruto answered. You will? Really? she asked with wide eyes. Even if it will be the last thing I do, the blonde answered with a wide smile while putting her down and moving in front of her. Okay, she said, nodding. Good. Now find some place to hide and stay out of the fight. This will get messy really soon. The former shinobi answered while glaring at the transformed Darbus. Okay, Mine said while scampering to hide in a small fissure in the walls, crawling as deep as he could and curling into a small, trembling ball. I am your target, you flaming bastard. Catch me, the blonde yelled, pleased to see the creature focus his rage only on him. Any idea? He asked. That glowing eye on his helmet is following us. I say we start attacking there, Utsukushi suggested. See if you can use the chains on his legs to trip him, like that his head will be an easier target, Midna added. Got it? Thanks, girls. Just pay attention. I am here if you need help. Grah! With a furious scream, the transformed Gorin charged forward, swinging the red-hot chains around his arms to try hitting the blonde. As soon as one of them circled around one of the columns adorning the room, enough times to get stuck, Naruto rapidly used the momentary surprise to slam a Rasengan on the beast's forehead, making the giant scream in anguish and blindly flail its arms, even uprooting the tall column blocking his chain and hitting Naruto with it and launching the blonde against the wall. Gah! Damn it! Now I am pissed. The former shinobi growled while bouncing from the wall and back on his feet to grab the long chains connected to the legs of Darbus. Fly, you charred asshole. In an awe-inspiring show of strength, Naruto pulled one of the chains with enough force to have the tall monster slam his head on the floor before literally flying towards the opposite wall once through by the blonde. It's not as fun when someone does that to you, eh? Naruto asked, smirking at seeing the transformed Gorin struggle to come out of the wall he had been embedded in. With a tired grunt, the Twilight Igniter managed to stumble out of the wall to catch his breath, the flames around his body dying down to show his moment of weakness. Attack him now, before he recovers, Mina said. Already on it? Naruto answered. To Gore Mine utter. Surprised, the blonde jumped up high enough to easily touch the room ceiling before creating a dozen copies of himself, each one with a spiraling sphere of blinding energy bigger than their whole body, roaring with the strength of a storm. Rasengan barrage! Naruto yelled as the whole mountain seemed ready to collapse under the humongous explosion resulting from the attack, and actually causing a minor eruption of the volcano along the sinking of various galleries and the reserves of lava resting under the huge mountain. Extra chakra, baby! We don't even need Sage Mode to pull off something this cool anymore now, Utsukushi said in pride once the titanic cloud of dust and smoke finally settled down to show the utter destruction surrounding the former shinobi. The whole room was now several feet wider and occupied almost totally by the crater of the jutsu. In its middle stood the unconscious Twilight Igniter, whose third eye started shining in a dim red light, soon followed by an agonizing scream of pain, before Fire's whole body exploded into black particles. Mine screamed in horror, and with eyes already watering up. But to her surprise, a small part of those black fragments slowly compacted into the body of a bruised Gorin with a squared haircut and massive arms. Darbus! The young Gorin girl yelled in happiness while running at his side to try wake him up. Well done, Naruto! Now we have two fused shadows. You are helping me so much. Thank you, Midna said with a grateful smile while taking care of the new piece before hugging the blonde as tightly as she could. This is nothing, but please, can you at least tell me more about why you need those things? The young man asked. Okay, it may sound like an interesting story after all, the imp girl answered after taking in a huge breath to calm her nerves. Zant. That's the name of the King of Darkness who cast this pall of shadows over this world. He is very strong. He may. I fear he would be too strong even for you, Midna said with her tone, getting increasingly more worried as she went on. Girl, we defeated a goddess not long ago, and at the time we still didn't have as much power as we have now, Utsukushi said while shaking her head. We are not idiots and never underestimate our enemies, but both me and Naruto are capable of great things as soon as we get serious. We can towing the line between possible and impossible regularly, and even reach the miraculous. Have faith in our abilities, the vixen then said. A goddess? You two fought against one of your gods? Midna asked, surprised. She was a self-proclaimed one, But in power alone, she could be clearly classified as one. She could even create small dimensions to trap her enemies in. Naruto answered. Be as you say. You will still need to pay attention. That monster will use any opening he will be able to find to strike. A beast like him does not feel remorse for anything, the imp girl said. You do not like the guy a lot, don't you? The blonde man asked. Zant will never be my king. I have nothing but scorn for his supposed strength. Not that Zelda is much better either. Midna answered sneering. What does Zelda have to do with this now? Naruto asked with a raised eyebrow. She is weak. Weak? She is not different from Zant. The only difference is in their ideals. It still appalls me that this world of light, that Hyrule in its entirety, is controlled by that princess. A carefree youth with a life of luxury. How does that teach duty or strength? I'll tell you it doesn't. At those words, Midna soon found herself in a calming hug of the blonde man, unconsciously snuggling closer as he caressed her head. It's okay, I am here. You are not alone, so stop brooding, he said, smiling. Idiot, she muttered in his chest to hide her flushed face. She may be a princess, but she still tried protecting her people, no matter how much you think she did wrong. At least you can admit that much, he said. I guess I shouldn't begrudge her the circumstances of her life then. She answered with a tentative nod. She didn't choose it after all. She was born a princess, but she never had a say in that, Naruto added. It's not like I would ever wish harm on her either. No, as long as we can get our hands on the fused shadows, we will be just fine and resolve this ourselves, Midna said with a more determined nod as she finally moved back from the blonde's hug. I am with you in this, remember, Naruto said, smirking. Ooh, I know it, and I wouldn't change this for anything in this or the Twilight world. We just need one more fused shadow to reach our goal. Shall we? Midna said while opening a new portal. Just a second, the young man said as soon as Darba's groans reached high ears. Erg. The Goron growled while finally rising on his feet. Father, Gormane said with a relieved smile. This explains why she came all the way here. Naruto muttered. Don't see the slightest similarity between the two, though. Probably she took everything from her mother, Utsukushi added. What am I doing here? Darbus asked with a garbled voice. You don't remember? Naruto asked. Remember? My head, it aches. The Goron answered, groaning. Sorry about that. I had to get brutal to snap you out of that, the blonde said with a sheepish smile. You helped me? Darbus muttered, evidently still confused. It was incredible, father. He could throw you around and battle your strength heads-on with little to no trouble. I had never seen a human do that, Gormane said while watching the former shinobi with newfound respect. And human. Erg. So much pain. I cannot remember anything. Darbus said. Again, I'm sorry. You hit strong then, little human. My head is still ringing. The Goron chief answered with an impressed tone. Thanks. Does the big guy need some help to return to the surface? Midna asked. Who are you? It doesn't matter. I will wait here with him until he recovers. Then we will go back on our own. Mine answered. Just pay attention, okay? Naruto asked with a gentle smile. I am not weak. Thank you for saving my father. The Goron girl answered with a red face and surprising the blonde by kissing his cheek. Okay? He answered with wide eyes. Idiot. It's just a way to thank you. It means nothing. Gormane said. Kill the midget bitch. Utsukushi roared from the seal. We will be on our way then. Midna growled with each word literally dripping venom before snatching the blonde in her hair-made hand and disappearing in the portal with a last scream of mine. What happened? Darbus asked confused. It's a long story, father. It all apparently started with the elders asking that human to help you then. The Goron girl answered, ready to tell her father everything she knew about the recovery mission Naruto went through to save him. Kakariko Village, Spirit Spring. Okay, what was that? Naruto asked as soon as he reappeared in front of the spring. Nothing, I was just resolving an issue before it turned into a problem. Midna answered with the sweetest smile. Heroic Naruto. The light spirit said with only its voice surfacing from the waters. Sigh. We will continue this conversation later. What do you need, big guy? I know that tone. It's the one usually used by those that have a problem they can't handle and so get all ass-kissing when they meet someone to shove the problem onto. Naruto answered with a defeated sigh. That is not exactly flattering. But I need you to go north of here, across the plain and past the great stone bridge in the lands guarded by the spirit Linariu. the voice answered. Hua. Then what? The blonde said, nodding. Help the spirit to recover the lost light. We will further guide you along the path. Hero Namikaze, so do not fear. We spirits and the holy goddesses shall protect you in every step you take. The light-made creature said as its body dissolved into small sparks that then re-entered the water. Naruto, a familiar voice said with a surprise-filled whisper. Good job in protecting me, dumbass. The blonde muttered, and ignoring the spirit's low-damage curse in favor of glaring at the newcomer. I have found you, finally, the man said in elation. Jiraiya, Naruto said with a growling voice and narrowed eyes while watching Konoha's spy master slowly walking closer to him. I'll make one. Who Darbus luckily didn't act like. Ooh. I know it, and I wouldn't change this for anything in this or the Twilight world. We just need one more fuse shadow to reach our goal. Shall we? Midna said while opening a new portal. Just a second. The young man said as soon as Darbus' groans reached high ears. Erg. The Goron growled while finally rising on his feet. Father. Gormane said with a relieved smile. This explains why she came all the way here. Naruto muttered. Don't see the slightest similarity between the two, though. Probably she took everything from her mother, Utsukushi added. Oh. YOSH. Thank you for saving me from that unyouthful corruption, my dear friend. Darbus said, jumping to his feet with a smile full of pinging teeth while striking a terribly familiar pose. Naruto stammered in horror. But of course. How do you think we Goron can dig mountains so effectively? But with youth, of course. Darbus answered. Join us in the youth. Gormane said, striking a similar pose. That's the spirit, my dear daughter. The Goron chief said with happy tears streaming down his cheeks. Darbus. Mine yelled. Mine. Darbus replied. Darbus. Mine. Screaming with all his horror, Naruto ran away from the hugging duo and the sunset already forming behind them. Why, wherever we go, we find those weirdos? Utsukushi yelled in disgust. He escaped, Dad, Mine said. I'll have to ask the Master Mato guy. We probably did something wrong. Darbus answered, sighing. Like this, we will never unleash our hidden youth. The girl said with a sad tone. We will continue practicing, and one day we will be able to fully grasp it, the huge Goron said. For the youth. Mine yelled. For the youth. Darbus answered with a similar scream. Happy place. Ignore the youth speech and go to your happy place. Naruto chanted while rocking back and forth in a corner of Renato's home. Following the technique Tsunade herself developed in Case Guy, and Lee went overboard with their youthfulness. Poor boy. Go fetch some bottles from the cellar. He seems in dire need of alcohol. Renadu said, worried. I'll take the strongest ones. The man's daughter answered, running away. Take deep breaths. I am here. You are safe. I don't get it. Midna muttered. It makes sense in context. Naruto answered, whimpering. I'll make two. Jiraiya's Hylian misadventures. So let me put this straight. You. Tsunade said. Yes, Jiraiya answered. Went on a solo mission to find Naruto. Yes. Without telling me a thing, the woman said while slowly shaking her finger to accompany her words. In my defense, our intelligence department has more holes than I have hair on my head, Jiraiya countered with crossed arms. But not only you failed, Tsunade continued, saying as if never interrupted. I just used the wrong words and had things escalate a little. Tsunade roared. Don't scream like that. A guard said. Sorry. Let's see. You harassed a dozen Goron girls. The woman listed. But if I didn't even see a tit or a leg? He answered in indignation. Silence. You managed to anger and hoard a fisherman by insulting them and their parents, she added. Used the wrong adjective once or twice. He muttered. Got caught peeping on some Zora. Male Zora. Good luck distinguishing the two. Tried to steal the panties of Princess Zelda before streaking naked through the small town under her castle, with said panties on your head like a bandana, while denouncing a certain Zan of having an unhealthy fetish for goats. I was drunk. Their kind of alcohol is stronger than what it looks like. Mouth-kissed and horse? Tsunade asked. A dare with a man from Hyrule Castletown. Please don't ask more details, Jiraiya answered, blushing. And yet you had to go back in Hyrule a second time. I am a persistent guy, Jiraiya said with a weak smile. A persistent idiot. An idiot that managed to do all that again in a single day. So to have your name signed as National Enemy #1 with a massacre on site order slapped under it. Could have gone worse. And worse it went because of everything I saw and remember you doing nothing. Nothing. beats the huge, gargantuan, towering fuck-up that your second trip there translated into. Tsunade roared while choking the toad sage. You sure used a lot of adjectives. Jiraiya said with a croaking voice. Good evening. We will now show you how our precious snuggle toy Naruto and his lovely wives will take part to our game. The theme this time will be war prisoner and depraved Amazon guards, with our dear hero of power playing the part of the prisoner getting passed around by the sexually hungry guards. That is to say, will be us, Din's voice said in the two Sanin's mind. Same thing happening in the minds of pretty much every man and woman above the age of 18. Thrice a day, every day, ever since you returned from your second trip. Now those three women, also goddesses because Naruto never does things by half, and had to have gods get interested in him, together with the ones he had already married, keep showing us some of the raunchiest things two members of the opposing sex can do to each other. And I saw porn actors blush and look down in shame. What do you have to say? Tsunade asked. That I am getting a lot of free research material? Jiraiya tried saying, struggling to ignore the images of his former student's blissful smile, while he pleaded with zero conviction those women to stop ravaging him savagely. Jiraiya. The woman roared in rage while chasing the toad sage through Konoha while dodging transfixed women and humiliated men that could only watch the visions with unblinking eyes. There was a tense silence as the toad sage of Konoha slowly walked towards his last student with his arms held wide open and a smile on his face. I have found you finally, Jiraiya said in elation. Jiraiya, Naruto said with a growling voice and narrowed eyes while watching Konoha's spy master slowly walking closer to him. Why that face? I came all the way here to take you back. The others are waiting for you. The man said, surprised to see the other take a step back. Waiting for what? For their weapon? For their best fighter? The blonde spat back as he kept retreating and even unsheathing Samahata. What? Don't be ridiculous. They all are waiting their friend. This childish tantrum has lasted even too long. Jiraiya answered frowning. A childish tantrum? This is what you think of all this? Do you really believe that outside Konoha one can't have a life? I have found my life. Jiraiya, I have found a place where I am appreciated and where I can just do my job, get paid, and then spend time with friends without fearing attacks from the shadows. Naruto answered. Working in a farm? The spy master said angrily. Yes, damn it. Working in a farm, herding goats, harvesting from the fields when it's time, and going into the woods with my horse to collect wood. Peace, quiet, and not a single power-hungry fool with spinning eyes, tailed beasts, or crazy bitches with delusions of godhood. I am on retirement. Jiraiya, I have put my life on the line so many times for you people that it is my right to finally rest. The blonde answered with a growl, his whisker-like markings getting thicker from his rage. And what about Konoha? What about the others? That is what letters exist for. They want to stay in touch. They can write. Don't be stupid. You are a shinobi. That is not something you can stop doing like that. It's a way of life, and you will still follow it. Jiraiya answered. So that's it? You need my chakra. You need Utsukushi and her power. Who is he? Naruto asked. He? Jiraiya asked, taken aback. He, whatever. Who is the new uber bad guy that wants to destroy everything? Because unless there is one, I can't see why now you people are worried about me, he answered. There is no bad guy, Naruto. We are just worried and want you back. I escaped. Jiraiya. What do you think will happen if for some reason I lost my mind and decide to come back? You will either seal away every form of power I have or brainwash me. Oh wait, there is still the seal-induced coma. Yeah, I almost forgot about it. Naruto answered with a mocking laugh. This won't have happened had you remained on the island. Jiraiya muttered. So in short, it is all my fault for not bending over. Take it up the ass and thank you for your kindness? The blonde asked back. In a word? Yes. The world is not nice. You'll need to grow up sooner or later. People have responsibilities. Jiraiya yelled in answer. And what about me then? I give and give and give, and is never enough. I took away the last tailed beast and disappeared. Out of the elemental countries. Cutting off any contact. You just had to let me live wherever I was, and everyone would have been happy. The blonde replied, fangs taking the place of teeth, and yet Jiraiya failed to understand the danger. You just don't understand. Konoha needs. Whatever the spy master was about to say died in his throat when the blonde he was talking with erupted into golden flames. Again with the you don't understand thing. I hate that excuse, Naruto muttered as his body got covered by the chakra cloak of the Six Paths mode. Calm down. Please calm down. Utsukushi said with a placating tone. That form doesn't promise anything good. Midna muttered as the appearance of the truth-seeking balls had her shivering at the feeling of their presence. Finally noticing that he had used the worst possible tactic, the Toad Sage tried to take few steps back and try again. Listen, let's just go back to Konoha. We will talk to the daimyos. We will have people see that you are not a menace. You will be able to see your friends once again. Jiraiya tried saying. And Hyrule? They need my help here too. They have a crisis just as big as Kagaya had been back in the elemental countries. They too risk total destruction, and I am the only one really able to do something to help them. Do you want me to abandon them? Just like that? Naruto asked as the gray spheres hovered behind him in a circle. But you do not belong here, Jiraiya answered. You didn't answer my question. You really want me to abandon Hyrule to its fate and come back? Do you want me to let thousands or even millions of people die just because you think the elemental countries are the only place I am permitted to live in? The blonde said with narrowed eyes. I am sorry, Naruto, but you are just too angry to think rationally. Once back in Konoha, we will be able to talk and resolve everything pacifically. Jiraiya answered with a sigh as a clone came out from the ground behind the blonde with a seal tag in its hands. Why do you think I kept the truth-seeking balls behind me, old man? Naruto answered as one of the spheres rapidly swallowed the clone and the seal whole, completely erasing both from existence. I forgot the sensory abilities of that cloak. The spy master said, frowning. You made your choice. You literally told me that Hyrule can very well burn for all you care as long as Konoha has its Jinchuriki back. I thought you were different from the others, Sannin, but apparently I was wrong. Naruto said with a grimace of disgust. No, it's not like that. I can even help you if you were so hell-bent into helping those people. Liar. Damn it. If you don't want to come back and spit on everything your parents ever stood for, then you leave me no choice but to take you back by force and put you on that damned coma. You too admitted that you may be a possible enemy of the elemental nations. Jiraiya answered, taking a fighting stance. I fought Obito, Madara, Kagaya, and Sasuke in rapid succession while you had troubles with pain. Are you sure? Naruto said with narrowed eyes. Brat, I am way stronger than what people believe. I try to talk Nagato out of his foolishness instead of fighting. This time I won't hold back, the Toad Sannin answered. What happened after that was a blur to Jiraiya. A flash of light followed by something hard impacting with his nose with enough force to slam his head on the hard stone under him, forcing the shinobi to look up at the sky from his face-up position on the ground before the flaming body of his student didn't fill his still blurred vision. I am not an enemy of Konoha or any other village. Say this to your Hokage and your daimyos. As long as you leave me and mine alone, I won't have a single reason to come back. But attack here, and you all will know how creative I can be when beating someone. The blonde hissed angrily, morphing the balls behind him into a staff, and then positioning the weapon at a millimeter of the Sannin's eye. And the others? Jiraiya asked. I'll write to them. They will have to be happy with that. As for now, I can't take a single step in the elemental countries anymore, not without someone trying to kill, capture, or brainwash me into being their loyal pet/weapon. You all were clear in that. To you all, I am something to use, not inhuman, Naruto answered, walking away and dropping the chakra cloak. I am sorry, Jiraiya said as a new tag slipped in his hand from his sleeve as he pounced on the blonde from behind. An instant before his hand could touch Naruto's back, though a speeding Gorin slammed on his side like a bullet of rock, blowing the spy master away and right into the spirit spring. What the? The old man had the time to say before a veritable rain of boulders started falling on him. Darabus, Naruto said in surprise. You are attacking a friend of the Gorons, human, a brother of us. And that is a transgression we won't forgive, the tall Goron leader said with narrowed eyes. Behind him, other Gorons with new boulders already in their hands for a new salvo. We will cover you, Brother Naru. You just go. Your mission for the spirits is not over yet, Elder Gore Koron added while pointing outside Kakariko. Thank you, and don't worry. Naruto said before sprinting away. You are hereby considered an enemy of the Goron tribe, human Jiraiya. We'll make sure to have our brothers and sisters around Hyrule know that you are not to be trusted. Just because we are not citizens of your land does not mean that our lives are less important than the ones in the elemental nations, Gorkoron said while glaring at Jiraiya. You people are just using him. The spy master replied. Not one of us is forcing him to help us. The choice was all his. But since he saw that he indeed had the power to help us, he decided to lend us his strength to help us in our time of need. And when the time comes in which this crisis is over, we will properly repay him for his help, no matter what we'll have to do to repay our debt towards him. Thing that, from what I could understand, was not the norm back in your land. Rinnedu answered while his daughter helped the kids inside his house. I'm just trying to do what's best for him. Jiraiya answered. Your best is simply deciding for him. He has instead every right to make his own choices. Rinnedu answered. But those choices may damage Konoha. You speak of your village with fanaticism. I am afraid that it's you the one to not understand. The man answered before walking back in his house, while shaking his head sadly. And what if other enemies of the elemental countries surface? Jiraiya yelled at the retreating man. Then start training the others to be proper warriors. You can't expect a young man to forever hold the weight of you all on his shoulders. Be strong together instead of hiding behind him. Darbus answered as he two together with the Gorons left the area to return to their mines. But, I want him back. With me, the spy master muttered with a sob. If he so much wishes to help this place, then I'll give him a hand. But then I will drag his sorry ass back home with me. I won't abandon him again. Not anymore. Jiraiya said in determination before running in the same direction he saw the blonde take. Up in heaven, Goddess's throne room. What do you think? Din asked curious. He is conflicted. He doesn't know if he should bring our hero back because of his duties as a warrior of Konoha or because he personally wants him close. Naryu answered with narrowed eyes. And yet, he still sounded like someone doing this because he wants the elemental countries to take back their powerful weapon, Farr said sneering. As I said, he is conflicted, his mind either latched to a side or the other. Unable to comprehend which is the right one in this situation, the goddess of wisdom answered. So he is a menace to my Naruto or not? Din asked angry. We can't be sure. We'll need to keep an eye on him, as a precaution. Farr answered. We can't intervene directly in the mortal realm as per the rules, but we can still offer a small help to our hero to keep that man away from him until we can be completely sure that he is not another enemy, Nereus said. Sounds good to me, okay. Let's keep the idiot away from my hero of power, Din said, nodding. So be it then, Farr added, said that the three goddesses moved to watch intently the events on Hyrule, to protect, as much as they could, their hero Naruto from the ones wishing to interfere in his mission. Some time later, with Naruto, the blonde hero was silently running towards the lone stone bridge he had seen during his fight with the King Bulblin when he stopped dead on his tracks to look towards Castletown far in the distance. Do you think I will really be able to save Hyrule? The former shinobi asked as his eyes looked towards the imposing aura of the Twilight still covering Zelda's castle. You are doing a good job up until now, so I think that you really have what it takes. I will be with you if you need, Midna answered with a reassuring smile. I am here as well. Don't worry. We kicked the ass of the bad guys once, and we will be able to do it again. It's just our job. The 10-tailed vixen added, smirking. Thanks, girls, he answered. Think nothing of it. You can count on me. Oi, you, Mr. Naruto. A voice yelled from behind him. Yes, Naruto said, watching as the strange postman rapidly ran in front of him. I have a package for ya. Rinnedu said to give this to you. The man said while fumbling with his backpack. What is it? The blonde asked. Here it is. A cool mask. The postman said, giving to Naruto a mask resembling an hawk together with a letter. Have you read the letter I first gave you? The man asked. Oh, yes. Now I know where to go to buy my socks. Naruto answered in sarcasm. So junk mail? I am sorry. It must have slipped through our spam section. It won't happen anymore, the postman said with a bow before darting away at top speed. What does Rinnedu says? Utsukushi asked. Dear Naruto, that man is still on your traces, so pay attention. With this lateral, find an old mask. It's charmed to zoom on objects either as a binocular or to help your accuracy, so use it during your mission and to hide your identity. We are all with you. Thank you for your help in freeing Kakariko and the Goron mines. We will always be happy to give you shelter as a member of our town. Rinnedu, Naruto said, reading aloud. You okay? Midna asked. Yes. Sigh. I am okay. The blonde replied with an happy smile, while cleaning off some unshed tears. Are you crying? The vixen asked. Men don't cry, we sweat from the eyes sometimes. Naruto answered as he rapidly wore the mask. Yeah, sorry I forgot that detail about true men. You know, if we add an hood to your coat, together with the mask, it will make a damn good impression, Midna answered smirking. And hood? Oh, I am definitely going to do that, he answered before resuming his run towards the lands guarded by Lunario. As soon as he had passed the bridge, though, an ominous streak of red lightning came crashing down on the bridge, erasing the central part of it, leaving behind two stumps of rock and separating Naruto from returning to Kakariko, and unknown to him, also stopping Jiraiya from following him. No, please don't tell me, Naruto muttered with wide eyes as the fragments of the bridge went sucked into the dark portal high into the sky. Yep, I guess it's time for another fetch quest, Utsukushi said, sighing. No, the blonde yelled in despair as he fell on his knees, this time openly crying in anguish. Grah! The two beasts that had been spat out from the portal growled in answer. Oh, just shut the fuck up, Naruto said, groaning. Dodging a swipe of claws from one, the blonde plunged Samahata deep in the second beast's stomach before slamming the blade on the head of the first, cleaving it in two vertically, making the two creatures let out a deafening shriek of agony as both died at the same time before disappearing in a cloud of black smoke. The bridge is still missing, Naruto said in dismay. I guess it means we'll have to find another way to have it return to normal, Midna answered. I hate fetch quests, he muttered as he resumed running, until coming to a stop as the usual dark wall of the Twilight appeared in front of him. Well, you know what that means, it's Foxy time, Naruto said, chuckling. What are you? Ah, we are finally here. There is only one fused shadow left, Midna said, sounding almost worried. Oi, whatever that stuff is, it's okay. You seem scared of it, but you can count on me. I'll be with you the whole time, the blonde said encouragingly. Thank you. Although I pretty much fear you won't be of the same advice as soon as I'll use it, the imp girl answered, grateful, giving her back to him to mutter the last part with a grimace though. The last fused shadow. Does it mean that we won't meet other Twilight walls then? Naruto asked. Pretty much. Relieved? She asked. Not exactly. You seem always so happy while in there. If only because Xanteam wasn't using that to conquer this place. I wouldn't mind the Twilight in the least, he answered, shrugging. Oh. Whatever you survive your final task, and survive is up to you, Midna muttered. But please do not do anything rush. I don't want a blonde man on my conscience, the imp girl answered. Hey, I am here. It's okay. We did this other times already. It will be okay, he answered, hugging her. Okay, I am fine. So what will you do then, Mr. Hero? She asked, smirking. And you ask? Take me to the Twilight. I want to kick some monster's ass, Naruto answered with a matching grin. Right away, handsome, Midna answered, laughing. I would say get a room, but it will be a cold day in hell before I'll let you have him, Utsukushi said, growling. Keep dreaming, furball. Once recovered my true body, we'll see who he prefers. He will be mine, Midna thought with narrowed eyes before entering the dark wall to drag the former shinobi inside. Not far away, Jiraiya, having finally passed the fissure thanks to a short summoning of Gamabunna, the boss summon, accepting only to keep up the lie about him not helping Naruto to escape, to jump over, was now gaping at the black wall after watching the blonde talk to his own shadow in a very friendly way before being dragged inside. He has a new friend too, one that knows about those walls. Well, I may not have a small sprite helping me, but Deerhold, Rasengan-style universal key will easily blow a hole in that all the same. Not a refined solution, but I have not a lot of options, the Toad Sage said as he approached carefully the tall barrier. Maybe making it extra big will be better, he said, taking few steps back before creating a clone. I just hope Naruto won't sue me for plagiarism. But I did help him devise this. Udama Rasengan, the Sannin said as he and his clone ran towards the Twilight barrier with a giant Rasengan in the hands. To his shock, the wall acted more like water, making him stumble forward and slam into the rocks beyond the barrier. The surprise, together with the slamming his face against the rocks in front of him with enough force to leave an imprint, had him not notice the Twilight turning him into a spirit as he fainted. With Naruto and Midna, both Nine-Tailed Fox and Imp, could only look in astonishment at the new flame, representing a spirit crash at top speed against the wall of rocks near them before collapsing. Arrow Sennin? Really? He sees a mysterious wall of darkness, and the first thing he does is diving headfirst into it? Really? Really? Naruto said in disbelief. To his credit, he probably didn't know that the Twilight was not something one just smashed down, Midna offered. I can understand that, but still. And he used my jutsu. The fox said, pouting. It's okay, it was surely less cool than when you use it, Atsukushi said. Yep. I too am sure it is definitely better when you use that. Even without seeing you do that personally, the imp added. Thank you. You know, not to sound like a bringer of bad news, but now that we are here, Midna said, uncertain. Yes? Naruto asked. Well, there is the small, let's say tiny possibility that this won't be the last veil of Twilight we will see. She answered with a weak chuckle. Oh, okay. And? The fox-shaped blonde asked, curious. I keep forgetting that you don't hate the Twilight and the ones coming from there. I am glad. So, shall we get going? Midna answered, patting his head in affection. Everything you wish, Midna. Naruto answered as he moved forward in a mad sprint. It was after a small run when the duo finally came out of the small canyon. They were in to see a tall construction stand tall, not too far away. Would you look at that? Atsukushi muttered with a raised eyebrow. Hey, haven't we seen this castle before? So we finally made it back here. The imp girl said, smirking. It's been a while. Just pay attention. Things are going to get harder from now on. What do you say? Shall we start? Of course. Hang on up there. I'm going to sprint. The fox transformed, Shinobi said before dashing forward at top speed. The girl's joyful cry echoed everywhere as the nine-tailed fox she was riding dashed forward at ludicrous speed towards the castle. Beyond the wide field of grass, above the small bridge connecting two sides of the small clearing, and slightly slowing down just to bite open the throat of a monster stupid enough to try and stop him, the former Shinobi rapidly reached the doors of Hyrule Castletown to find those open and the main square filled by the dim flames of the inhabitant spirits. This is kind of sad. Are you sure they're not suffering? Naruto asked in concern. No, don't worry, they're not even aware of their state as spirits. Time for them is standing still. The only ones that could possibly feel something are the more spiritually aware, but they too won't feel much, Midna answered while patting his head. At least they are not in pain then. He answered, sighing, watching the statue of three triangles in the middle of the central square. The symbol of Hyrule, the Triforce, the imp girl explained. Triforce? A long story of gods and chosen ones, probably one of which you were the substitute of, but we have no time for this now. Midna answered. They seem so at peace. The former shinobi muttered while walking on, watching with sad eyes as soldiers kept doing their rounds and kids playing as if nothing was out of ordinary. This boy. Both heard a voice say, with a sigh. What the? Midna muttered with narrowed eyes as she and Naruto moved closer until they stood outside a rather hidden bar, sporting the sign Telmas. Entering, they could see a woman, probably the bar's owner, watching over a young boy with bluish skin with a grimace on her face while shaking her head. Where is that blasted doctor? I called him almost an hour ago. The woman growled. That's a Zora. What is he doing here? Midna said in surprise. Zora? Those fish people? Naruto asked. Exactly them. Why, there's a kid of theirs in here. She answered, nodding. Those soldiers talked about some kind of incident. Can it be that you have something to do with that? The bar's owner said while passing a cloth on the boy's forehead. It's good that they can't see us right now. Last thing we need is people panicking for a giant nine-tailed fox going around, Atsukushi said. That's true, Midna answered as she and the blonde exited the bar. Listen, this is what we will do. We will go to Lake Hylia and resolve whatever mess is stopping people from reaching the spirit spring in there. I won't accept failures, got it? A soldier said as he and his men marched in the opposite direction of the fox. Aye, Captain. The men answered as one. Sigh. Change of plans. We will visit Zelda later. For now, we better go to the spirit spring and return the light to its guardian before those idiots get themselves killed. Midna said, sighing. I thought that in the twilight they were like frozen, Naruto said. I said that for them time simply doesn't flow, not that they cannot move around and live normally, the imp girl answered. This is too complicated. The former shinobi said, sighing before running out of Hyrule Castletown and towards Lake Hylia, after a brief look to a map in a near traveling agency-like shop to discover where that lake even was. Meanwhile, Castle, Zelda's room. Zelda sighed once again as she watched her people trapped in twilight with a deep sense of sorrow filling her heart. once again berating herself for her choice of sacrificing their freedom in exchange of their lives. Yes, at least they are still alive. And as long as I have faith in Midna and her companion, not everything will be lost. Midna, Zelda muttered as her mind drifted once again towards the little, cute imp girl and her stone helmet, shining eyes and adorable. But no, I have to focus. This is not the time to dwell in sinful thoughts about her or that girl that always talks about bugs. With that cute smile and flowing blonde hair, and that angelic giggle whenever a bug of hers flying near her. And the princess muttered with a dreamy smile. No, focus, Zelda, focus. Maybe I should invite her here for tea once this is over. Then we would talk and laugh and bath, toga damn it. The woman muttered before her loud curse rattled the windows of the whole castle. Princess Zelda was many things. A leader blessed with great wisdom. A strong woman able to put even the strongest man to shame with her willpower alone. And a leader with a little tendency towards bisexuality. Not completely lesbian, but let's say that if a cute girl comes knocking, she wouldn't mind some kissing, groping, and a little eating o' you. Damn it. A new curse forced its way out of Zelda's mouth as once again her mind moved through sinful thoughts. If only she knew that pretty much all Hyrule knew and simply didn't care who she slept with as long as she continued being the wonderful leader they saw her as, her life would be way easier. With Naruto and Midna, did you hear that? Sounded like a woman screaming in rage. The foxified blonde said, momentarily stopping in his run. Oh, no, can't hear a thing. Midna answered, shrugging. Oh, maybe I imagined it. Where are we now? He asked. In Hyrule, she answered, smirking. Very funny, pipsqueak. Jaw-breaking comedy. Utsukushi said, rolling her eyes. Sigh. We are looking at the Great Bridge of Hylia, a place we need to pass to reach Lake Hylia. Midna answered, huffing annoyed. Did I never tell you that I have a bridge named after me? Naruto said proudly. Really? Do tell. Midna said, smirking while playfully tugging his ears. After my heroic exploits in Wave Country, where I freed them from a tyrant, I got awarded with my name on the new bridge I helped protecting, he answered. And he was barely a brat when that happened. Utsukushi added. Oh, yes, it was also where I discovered my own ninja way of life, the way in which I would have lived, and where I also lost two very special people. Even if they started as my enemies, I still look at them as great examples. Naruto added with a more sad tone. Once dealt with this spirit spring, we can talk about it if you want. Midna offered with a loving pat on his head. Thanks, but we are wasting time. Let's go. The fox said before resuming his run. Hey, it's me or. Do you smell anything funny? The imp girl asked once they reached halfway through the colossal bridge. Yeah. Oi, this is oil, Naruto said in surprise. What the hell is that thing doing? Utsukushi yelled while pointing at a being wearing a skull-like mask with a bow in its hand and a flaming arrow in the other. Don't you dare! The former shinobi growled with narrowed eyes as he tried to reach for the creature. Kree! The creature shrieked as it shot the arrow, going wide eyes as a clone of the fox jumped high to intercept and destroy the projectile, while the original pounced on the Twilight being. Anything to say? Naruto growled at the creature he was holding down. Kree? The thing said with a nervous laugh. Asking for mercy? Sorry, I have none. Naruto yelled, making high-pitched screams of agony reach everywhere as he pounded the thing savagely, alternating each swipe of claws with an head but for good measure. Several minutes later, Lake Hylia. Stupid monsters and their stupid plots, making my life difficult for their stupid master. The former shinobi kept muttering all the way to the lake, having been forced to deal with other skull-masked monsters in his running towards there. It's okay. We are here now. We just need to find the spirit spring and free its guardian, Midna said with a reassuring tone. Consider this. Keep every anger aside. Once met Zant, we will unleash everything on him, so to repay him for all the courtesy he showed us, Utsukushi said, smirking. Whoa, I like that plan. I can't wait to meet the bastard, he said with a cruel chuckle, unknown to him, making Zant feel a shiver run up his spine. Midna, are you sure this is Lake Hylia? I mean, I saw bigger puddles back home. The vixen asked, uncertain. There sure is very little water, that's true. From the map, it seemed like a pretty big thing. Midna answered, scratching her head. Let's see if we can find some clues around here, Naruto offered as they neared the shore. There! Zoras, maybe we can eavesdrop what they are saying and discover something. The imp girl said, pointing at a group of flames. Midna, the probabilities for us happening to pass by exactly in the moment in which they are talking about what we need are too low. The drop in water has been faster than predicted. The oldest-looking Zora of the group said with a grimace. Never mind, Naruto said, sighing in defeat. At this rate, Lake Hylia will dry up. It's a race against time, the Zora said, shaking his head. We've had absolutely no water flowing from upstream. One of the others said, sighing. There's no mistaking it. Something must have happened at the water source in our home. The Zora domain. Another guard added. Yet how are we to return upstream to our home? With the way things are now, we can't even walk back there. We will find a way. Anything else for us to conveniently say out loud for everyone happening to pass by to hear? The older Zora of the group asked. Nothing that comes to mind. The other guards answered, shaking their heads. Let's go see if we can resolve this water problem too. We may need the lake back to its former glory to find the spirit spring, Midna said. Okay. Naruto answered, nodding as he walked away. Let's try over there, near that guy with the stupid costume and makeup. Maybe we will be able to find some info in that house, or hear something from him, Utsukushi said. Harem, I'm too old for this. The clown-dressed man said with a depressed sigh. Fire in Falbai's watertop land of fantastication. Our grand reopening at our new lake bottom location. He said with bitter sarcasm as his shoulders dropped down. I told him it was a bad idea. Oh, he has a nice lake, but don't lakes have more water? Stupid idiot. I bet he got the Zoras angry upriver and they closed the whole water source out of spite. The man said, kicking the small stall near him. What do you think? Naruto asked as he walked away to find a way to reach the Zora domain. The Zoras are certainly not at fault. They too were lamenting the lack of water. And even then, angry or not, they would never put their own kingdom at risk out of spite for some humans, Midna answered. I sense some bad intention up there. Maybe our culprit is still around, Utsukushi said. And there is your culprit. Oi, what are you trying to do? Midna yelled as another skull-masked monster started blowing on a near herb to produce a little song. He's trying to call a bird. But why? Naruto said as he knew the kind of plant the thing used. Oh, I think we're going to see what has answered. And I feel something big approaching. The humanized vixen in the seal said as the dull sound of big, flapping wings grew louder and louder as something moved near them. The newly arrived creature was a winged monster with a flat disc-shaped head, the stone mask fragmented to show an eye-like shape surrounded by red lines. Broad! Broad! The avian creature trumpeted as the skull-masked archer climbed on its back to ride it. Hoi! I still posse's a small part of the other Biju's abilities after taking away their chakra. See if you can use the sand around here. Utsukushi offered it, seeing the archer-bird combo stay up in the air to evade the attacks. I'll try. Midna, can you use your zone to trap them? He answered. I never did it with a flying target, but I'll try, she said, nodding, creating a clone to distract the two monsters. The real shinobi tried to feel the sand around himself answer to his call. To his dismay, the lack of hands for the hand seals stopped him to achieve any result. Damn it. Okay, new plan. Walk on walls and then strike, the fox said, snarling angrily before running towards the wall of rock surrounding the lake. Jumping high to evade a new volley of flaming arrows to walk vertically on the wall, and then jumping at Mach speed towards the monstrous bird once high enough. Take this H, Midna said as her dark-colored zone surrounded her, and Naruto paralyzing beast and archer. And now my appetizer, Itadikamasu, Naruto said, latching to the bird with his claws and tails to deliver several powerful bites to the avian monster, making the group fall down on the ground. Huff! The skull-masked archer groaned as it tumbled on the ground in pain. It's your turn now. D. The foxified blonde growled as he pounced on the scared archer. Oh dear! All that bloodlust. And that anger. Oh! Utsukushi muttered as her eyes fluttered close with a low moan. This is hardly the time to get aroused. We still have to reach the Zora, Midna said from her sitting position on the bird's head. You already found a substitute? Do I mean so little to you, Midna-chan? Naruto asked in fake hurt. No, you idiot. I just borrowed this one. Had you killed it, we would have been without a way to reach those fish people. You can't mimic the sound of that grass by howling, and that fool used the last musical herb to call those birds. The imp girl answered rapidly. Sorry. I was joking. But you could have just whistled. Or let me take you there by walking on the walls, he answered. Why wasting energy when we have this little thing carry us around? And well, I don't know how to whistle actually, she said, blushing deep green. Remember me to teach you then, the transformed blonde said with a smile. Okay, careful now. I'll have our friend here take us to the water source of the lake. And you, if you hurt the fox, I am going to cook you for dinner. She answered, smiling. The last part hissed in the ear of the monstrous bird, making it nod rapidly in understanding. Said that the avian creature carefully took the big nine-tailed fox in its talons to take it high in the air, following Midna's directions towards the Zora domain at the source of Lake Hylia. Arrows! Arrows! Naruto yelled as dozens of flaming projectiles came down, raining on them. Trust me, I know how to drive this thing. Midna answered as she made the beast fly down in a nosedive. Really? The blonde said, relived. No, but I am learning. The imp girl answered, smirking as she made the bird move in a corkscrew maneuver to throw few archers down from the shooting posts. Gah! The foxified shinobi shrieked as the flying got even more daring and dangerous the more enemies came out to shot them. Wee! Faster! Faster, you stupid bird! Midna cheered loudly as she kept dodging stalactites and arrows by mere inches. You okay down there? She asked with a wide smile. Bliak, I'll take your puking as a yes, the girl said, smirking. What? Come on, this is awesome. They are demolishing those pillars of rocks to kill us. This is so cool. Midna yelled as she dodged the new form of death falling on them. Yeah, I'm gonna die. First I'll throw up again. Then I'm gonna die. Naruto howled as he went dragged along. If we're gonna die, then make love to me a last time before our demise. Utsukushi said, hugging the blonde from the seal. This is not the moment for Thiet. The blonde yelled as the monster bird moved up at rapid speed along a giant rock to evade it. Come on, we have reached the upper river of the Zora. You drama queen, Midna said as she forced the bird to drop the fox before return on Naruto's back with a wide smile. See? We made it. Wasn't that fun? She said, grinning. I'll answer in 10 minutes. When my stomach will stop trying to switch place with my lungs. Naruto answered weakly. Don't be so melodramatic. Let's look for the village of the Zoras instead. Midna said while gently kicking his sides. I am going, Naruto muttered, sighing, nearing the near spirit. It's cold here, by the way, she muttered, shivering. Lean closer, he said, pushing her against his back with his long tails. Thank you, the girl muttered with a small smile as she leaned closer on his back to share his warmth. Those damn Zoras. What's up with them? The spirit, a young woman with a thick afro hairstyle on her head, said with an angry frown. The river is run dry. What the hell? I can't work like this. And now I am cold too, she said, sighing. It means that we are still far from the source of the problem. Let's continue, Midna said, pointing at a cave probably moving deeper in the mountain. Okay. The former shinobi answered, nodding. Reaching a part on the dried-up bottom of the river leading to the cave, the nine-tailed fox and Midna followed the long, cold tunnel trying to reach the source of the river and hopefully the Zoras. When they reached a wide cave, though, they could only gape with wide eyes at what in front of them. Oh! Hey! What's going on here? I thought it was getting colder. But who would have thought that it would be all frozen? Midna said in disbelief at seeing everything covered in a thick layer of ice with veritable towers of ice sprouting here and there from the floor of the cave. This is not normal. We should have at least started to see few Zora scouting around if we are nearing their village. But why I can't see any then? Naruto asked while looking around. That is also true. Come on, let's check things out and find the Zoras, Midna said while still lying down on the shinobi's furred back. Hold tight, we'll climb that huge mountain of ice, he answered as he sprinted forward to run vertically on the tall frozen waterfall, jumping to the side and bouncing from the walls and back whenever an unstable block of ice came out to fall on them. How long before we arrive? I am freezing, Midna muttered with a shiver. Almost there. I can see a light in that room, Naruto said as he moved even faster up the tall ice mountain and finally reaching the entrance of a room decorated by an arch seemingly made of roots. Shadow beasts, Utsukushi yelled as the three monstrous creatures dropped from the ceiling as soon as the foxified blonde entered. Jabidmit, there is Xan's hand in this then, eh? Well, let's see if we can correct this. Naruto said with narrowed eyes as he pounced on the first creature to bite down on its throat to throw it against the others. Jumping to the side to evade a vicious hammer punch of a beast, the fox answered by headbutting the attacker, splinting in two its mask/face, making it screech in agony as its head whipped back from the blow. Jumping on the head of the falling shadow beast, Naruto grabbed into the claw of another to slam it against the wall. Surprised to feel Midna use her powers to stop the third monster behind him. "The idiot tried to sneak on you," Midna said, smirking. "I got surprised only once. Now I felt a move. Don't worry." "But thanks," he answered, tackling the paralyzed beast to cover its throat in enough bites to almost behead it. "One down, two to go," Atsukushi said, cheering. "Incoming," Midna yelled as both the remaining shadow beasts jumped towards the blonde with their claws at ready. "Two against one, not fair." "For you," Naruto said, grinning as he rapidly jumped back, using the surprise reaction of the two monster to tear off the arm of one of the two while clawing the other's chest open with a claw swipe of his. "And the last one, dead," the humanized vixen said, smirking as the wounds took care of the last remaining shadow beast, making it collapse. The three dead monsters turning to black smoke, then forming a portal up in the sky. At least now we can use that to come here, without repeating the whole trip with the bird," Midna said with a displeased pout. "Hooray! No more crazy flying." Naruto instead was cheering happily with a wide smile on his foxy face. "I'm not that bad at driving, am I?" the imp girl muttered, blushing. "No, you are worse," Atsukushi said with a reassuring tone before laughing loudly at her offended expression. "Stop it, you two. Did you see any Zora around? This place is empty," Naruto said, frowning at the completely empty room. "Down! Look below the eyes," Midna said with wide eyes. "What the fuck?" the transformed shinobi said in shock. Those are Zoras," the imp girl said, shocked. Dozens upon dozens of Zoras were trapped in the solid block of ice. And while everyone was pretty much wearing masks, the blonde and the Biju could swear that not one of them was any bit shocked. And that meant frozen solid in an instant. Whatever happened had been so sudden to not leave them time to react or even notice the thing. As we suspected, we can remove completely a natural event from the causes. Nothing natural can freeze this much water fast enough to trap all of them down there, Atsukushi said with narrowed eyes. "When in the world happened? Zant did this? Why?" Midna muttered as they moved out of the room. "Do a crazy bastard need a motivation? Maybe he thought that they were in the way of his plans. Or he simply decided to randomly attack them. I don't know." Naruto answered, snarling. "What are we going to do? We can't leave them like this," Atsukushi said. "For that we'll need to thaw them out," Midna answered. "But how?" "In my fox body, I can't use jutsu. And even then, a fire one big enough to melt all this ice may end up hurting them as well," Naruto said, grimacing. "We have a portal now. Let's see if we can find a way to thaw them out somewhere else," Midna offered. "The Gorons. Maybe they can help us," Naruto said in realization. "The problem will be talk to them as a fox. You will need to explain to them what happened to have you turn into an animal," the imp girl answered. "It's just a first idea. Would you be able to take here some volcanic stones? A few dozens big enough should be able to raise the temperature enough to start melting it so to slowly free them," the humanized vixen said. "It may take a while, but yes, I can bring some here. Prove that the Gorons are open to lend us some of those scorching hot rocks. We can at least try," Naruto said. "Well, it's worth a try." "Ah," Midna said as she used her powers to have both she and the big fox into a portal. Meanwhile, with Jiraiya, the Toad Sage was slowly walking through Hyrule Castle Town, trying to ignore the constant prickling at the back of his head he had started feeling ever since he passed that strange wall. "And that thing now acts like a wall, not letting me out," the old man muttered, walking through the streets. "People doesn't seem to notice, though," he then added as he watched people walk normally around him. He was feeling like frozen in place even while moving, and that was not a comfortable thought, even if he himself was unable to understand that he was now blocked in an endless instant thanks to the veil of twilight covering the area. "Oi, stranger. You seem like one needing a pint even more than a breath of fresh air. What about a drink?" Telma said with a smile from the entrance of her bar. "Not now. I am looking for someone," Jiraiya answered, waving her off. "I work in this place. Chances are I have seen him, or someone I know will see him sooner or later," the woman answered, winking. "Sigh. Just a glass," the spy master answered, shrugging. 2 hours later. Oh God, please let me go." Jiraiya pleaded while struggling with the ropes tying him to the bed. No, sweet checks. We have barely started, Telma said while lightly slapping his knee with a riding crop. Do you do this with every client? He asked, swallowing hard while cursing the moment of light flirting he had with the woman as a joke. Only with the ones that managed to fan the hidden flames in these old bones. Pretty boy. She answered with an hungry smirk. I'm in a relationship already. Tsunade will be angry if I cheat on her. Jiraiya tried saying, oblivious that his answer had Tsunade shiver in dread in response all the way back in Konoha. What she doesn't know won't hurt her. Telma answered, crushing Jiraiya's crotch under her high heels. Emma Mercy. The toad sage said, whimpering. No, the safe word is banana, remember. She answered, putting a ball gag in his mouth. Hana! 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 Jiraiya shrieked from his gag while shaking his head wildly. Tran? Banana! 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 It will be the equivalent of several hours later when Telma will finally let go of Jiraiya, making the limping sage leave the bar with a shocked expression from all the kinky things he had been subjected to. More than half, even him, didn't know existed. That while feeling really good, it took a toll on him. Not even the shinobi war managed to match. Come back anytime you want, sexy ass. My door is always open, Telma said, smirking while taking a celebratory sip from her pint. Despite himself, Jiraiya couldn't stop an eager grin from surfacing on his face as he tiredly and slowly walked towards Lake Hylia, where he thought he would have found news about Naruto from the various guards trying to resolve whatever issue that was taking place in there. While Telma was having her deranged way with Jiraiya, with Naruto and Midna, the foxified blonde, after having finally convinced Darbus and the others of actually being Naruto, was being led by the still bruised Gorin leader, his daughter, and few others towards a secluded area of the mines. You need hot rocks? Then I'll give you the hottest. This thing had been spit out from Death Mountain just a few minutes ago. We were actually wondering what to do with this, Darbus said as a rock as tall as the old Hokage Tower in Konoha was slowly appearing in front of them as they walked forward. Holy fuck, that's a big rock, Naruto said in wonder. That thing crashed here? That must have been a giant boom. Midna added with a nod. Is this a big enough rock? Darbus asked seriously. We can see if we can find a bigger one otherwise, Gormine added, nodding. I think it will go just fine. But can you actually move it, Midna? Naruto asked aloud. TCH, don't underestimate me. Watch and be amazed. The imp girl answered, surfacing in front of the two as a shadowy silhouette. You sure have the strangest friends, brother. Darbus muttered. Nah, she is awesome and cute too. Naruto answered, making Midna blush, and Minae discreetly glare at her with narrowed eyes. As I was saying, I'm going to warp this to the Zora. A little silence as I need to warp something big. HAA, Midna said with her eyes closed tight in concentration before shooting a thick ray of light from her hair-made hand, making the giant rock float in the sky. Holy court, she did it. A guard yelled with wide eyes. Now go to the Zora's little rock. Ah! Midna ordered, making the rock turn into microscopic fragments rapidly sucked into the portal they used to reach the mountain. Wonderful. Thank you, Darbus-san. That should be enough to help us go on with our mission, Naruto said happily. It was nothing, brother. At least you helped us get rid of that thing. Darbus answered, waving him off. Pay attention out there. Those monsters will never stop attacking you until you complete the mission the spirits gave you, Elder Gorkoron said, patting the former shinobi's back. I'll be okay. Don't worry. The blonde replied. We need to go. We still need to save the Zoras and free the spirit spring in there, Utsukushi said. Right, goodbye everyone, and thank you for everything you have done to help me, Naruto said. We have our honor. Human, you helped us, and so it's normal that we help you back. You are one of our brothers now. Just squishy instead of rock hard, Minae said haughtily. Oh, I assure you, Brad. Where it counts, he is even harder than rock, Midna said, smirking. Midna? Naruto yelled, scandalized as the imp girl made both disappear in the portal. Where it counts? AH. Beep 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 beep. Gormine muttered in confusion before the meaning dawned on her, making her face almost melt from how red it had become as she screamed her answer at Midna's words. An instant later, Zora's domain. Before the two heroes could arrive, the giant flaming stone came out from the portal right above the chamber, holding the frozen tribe. and with a deafening explosion of breaking ice, soon followed by high-pressure steam and water. The river that was behind Lake Hylia's existence got finally free to return to flow in a burst of power that blew away the few skull-masked monsters still roaming around. Soon after everything calmed down, a big nine-tailed fox with an imp girl riding his back soon appeared from the same portal. Something as dangerous as a rock shootout from a volcano actually did come in handy, Midna said while watching the few little rubbles remaining from the giant rock's explosion flowing away with the water. Yep, the Zoras are safe now. Maybe we can ask them about the spirit spring, Naruto answered as he neared the group of flames sitting here and there around the room. I can help you with that, hero chosen by the goddesses, a melodious voice said in gratitude. What the? Midna said in surprise as a ghostly figure appeared in front of them in the middle of the room in the shape of a giant mermaid-like woman looking at them with a gentle smile on her divine face. On the back of her head, a long tail, reaching her back in place of normal hair. Please, as a way for me to thank you for revitalizing both my people and this spring, which is the water source for all the lands of Hyrule, the woman said with a gentle smile. I did it because it was the right thing to do. It was a pleasure to help you others, Naruto answered grinning. GRRR. Utsukushi roared with narrowed eyes at the woman. Meaning, Midna muttered sneering while hugging the fox. Thank you, young hero. In life, I was the elder of this Zora village and the queen of my people. I was called Ritella. The woman answered, signaling at the former shinobi to move closer. Not to be rude, but we didn't exactly do it for you guys, Midna said casually. There is no reason to lie, little girl, the ghost said, laughing amused at the imp girl's pout. The Dark Ones, they raided this village and, as a message to my people, executed me before them, Ritella said with a sad tone. Bastards, Naruto muttered with a furious growl. Don't let anger cloud your eyes, young man. You who take the form of a beast and yet remains proud and honorable no matter what. I have something to ask you, the dead queen of the Zora pleaded. Oh God, everyone we meet needs something. This is getting ridiculous, Utsukushi said, groaning in disbelief. What do you need from me, Ritella? Naruto asked. When the Dark Ones descended upon our village, I sent my young one, Rallis, to Hyrule Castle to inform Princess Zelda of our fate, but I fear danger followed him from this doomed place. I feel it. I can feel his presence growing fainter to me over time, the ghostly woman said in sorrow. It must be that Zora kid we saw in that bar, Midna whispered in Naruto's ear. I see, my time in this world is past, and though I would give it gladly, I no longer have a life to risk in his rescue. Please, would you save my dearest Prince Rallis? If you do this thing for me, I will bestow upon you the protection of water, she answered. The protection of water? Midna asked. The power to grant you the ability to swim and respire in very deep water, as if you were a Zora. But please, save my son, Ritella pleaded before fading away. Let me guess. You want to help her? Midna said, sighing. She is a mother worried for her son. You can't expect me to ignore that, right? Naruto asked with a raised eyebrow. Especially since she is a mother returning from the grave for the well-being of her baby. You are especially vulnerable to that kind of thing, Utsukushi added, shaking her head. Fine. At least she'll grant you the power to swim in deep water like a Zora if we help her. We won't exactly work for free. Okay, let's go save the boy, Midna said in defeat. I'm still a fox. Maybe we should first reach the spirit spring, the blonde said. Oh, right, you can't meet a prince while looking like a beast. And how exactly? The ice melted and the whole explosive melting has sped up the flow of water. We'll need another method to return to Lake Hylia. Let the water take you there, then? The imp girl asked. Sigh. I hate the smell of wet fur. Naruto sighed as he jumped in the water to swim back to the now hopefully refilled lake. A few minutes later, Lake Hylia. The lake was indeed back to its former glory, covering almost completely the area under the bridge with its transparent, clean, sparkling water. Nice. It's a cool place after all, the foxified young man said, chuckling. This one is hidden underground. Must be the shy one of the light spirits. Let's go hear what it says other than please recover my light. I hope this one will be more helpful than the others, Utsukushi said as Naruto and Midna rushed inside the cave leading to the spring. As expected, In the middle of the underground chamber, holding the small speck of water of the spirit's spring, they could see the lonely cluster of small lights, forming the remaining body of the light spirit. I am the last of the spirits of light, consumed by the power of twilight. The mass of light said, "Hero, chosen one of the gods, you have done well to make it this far." The light said weakly, "Should I start to feel worried?" Naruto muttered, "I too find his words worrying. But let's hear what he wants to say." Midna answered, "Please gather my scattered tears of light that were stolen by the shadows, and gather them in this." The spirit said as the light vessel once again came floating up on the waters of the spring. "Here we go, not helping us until we recover that light. Why am I still surprised, I wonder?" Atsukushi said, sighing. "Can you at least show us where those bugs are hiding?" Naruto asked. "Yes. I was sure you knew by now the forms that those dark insects take. I am glad, so please, collect my light and lift the final cloud of twilight that threatens to cover all of Hyrule," the spirit of light pleaded. "I'll do it. Don't worry," Naruto answered, nodding before leaving. "I am happy that this will be the last one. This hunt for bugs is annoying," Midna said, yawning. "Yeah. Anything, Utsuchan?" the former shinobi asked, keeping my sense sharp. "But nothing," the vixen answered. "This only means one thing. We'll need to look for them from a higher point of view," Midna said, smirking. No. Please no, Midna-chan. I'll do whatever you want. Just do not call that bird again," Naruto pleaded, shaking his head in the negative. "Everything?" the imp girl asked with narrowed eyes. "Oh," she muttered with a moan before lightly slapping herself. "No, that can wait. We still have things to do," she said while floating away from him. "Wait? What can wait?" the former shinobi asked. "Ah, there it is," Midna said as she took a very recognizable herb. "Oi, don't touch that," Naruto pleaded. But before he could grab her, the girl had already played the same song she had heard the skull-masked monster play before. "Oh gods, why?" he whimpered as the faraway trumpet-like call of the monstrous bird echoed in answer as the huge animal drew closer. "Yeah, here we go." Midna cheered happily as she mounted the bird, ordering it to grab the fox before flying high in the sky with the transformed shinobi's cry of denial shocked the whole area. Up and down, nosedives, corkscrew maneuvers inside and outside the area around Lake Hylia, and even all the way back to Hyrule Castletown, where Midna just teared up at a rooftop with a wild dive the Twilight bird made to crush one of the bugs holding the spirit's light on its mask-like face before returning back to the lake where she dumped the sickened Naruto in the water to have him recover while she abandoned the mutated animal. "Good. That was way faster than last time, yes? Isn't it better like this?" she asked, grinning. "No, it wasn't," Naruto answered with a bitter glare that made her flinch a little. Come on, don't be angry at me." "I don't like that," she muttered. "Fine, I won't. But I want a kiss in exchange," he answered, grinning, openly ignoring the annoyed grumbling coming from the seal. "You tease," she answered before giving a small kiss to the tip of his nuzzle. "See? All better now. How many bugs do we still have to catch?" he asked. "Let's see. Only one," Midna answered once checked the vessel of light. "I can feel it. It's pretty close," Atsukushi said bitterly, only to smirk when the blonde momentarily flashed in the seal with her for a hug and a quick kiss/tongue war. "Okay, how close is it?" he asked while looking around. It was in that moment that a thin, sharp finger tapped the fox on the shoulder, making both almost jump out of their skin at the sudden appearance. There was the ugliest, biggest, and most disgusting bug either shinobi, Biju, or imp girl from the Twilight had ever seen. With a bulbous, huge body sporting 6 bright orange pustules, shining in contrast to the dark purple body. 6 skinny legs flaying around erratically, and a pair of wings that normally shouldn't be able to carry all that twitching mass. Even Shino would have found the thing disgusting. Naruto just knew that after a mere glimpse at the drooling pincers as they snapped at him and Midna. "Oh, that close then," he muttered. "Can we scream now? I really need to," Atsukushi asked. "On 3? Midna said. 1, 2, 3. The fox said as he and the 2 girls took in a huge breath. "Aya, Rhea F." The giant bug yelled in answer as it pounced on the foxified blonde plus imp. With the spirit spring, Hero Namikaze, "Thank you for what you are doing for us. The goddesses will repay your help greatly," the spirit said softly as he heard the disgusted screams of both Naruto and Midna from outside. Oh gods! Stop attacking it. The thing's it's spraying pus everywhere. Midna shrieked in horror. How am I supposed to kill it then? Naruto yelled in answer. If only I could see what is happening out there. But my powers are diminished to the bare minimum. The spirit muttered curious. Kaiya, those are not pustules. Those are tentacles. Why they have to be tentacles? The new scream of the imp girl came as a surprise as her shrilly voice broke the sound barrier. Back with Naruto and Midna. 1 hour later. Gwawa. With a last cry of agony, the last huge insect fell down in the water before dispersing in a cloud of black smoke, letting go of the last spark of light that went then rapidly sealed in the vessel in Midna's hands. I hate insects. I hate them all. Naruto yelled in rage as he and Midna were covered from head to toe, or tail in the blonde's case, in white yellowish sticky pus, and other fluids came out from the bug's wounds. Gurgle, I need a bath. A long bath, Midna said whimpering, biting down the need to puke of sheer force of will. Yes, first a bath, then the light spirit. The fox answered as both moved to clean themselves thoroughly from the smelly goop covering them. They soon were in front of the light spirit that they just knew was looking at them smugly, as to say, see? It wasn't hard, right? Prompting the three heroes to growl as soon as the mass of lights appeared in front of them. I'll be in there if you need me. Done this, we'll have to focus on the Zora Prince and finding the remaining fused shadow, Midna said before disappearing as light returned to Lake Hylia and surrounding area. Got it. Naruto answered once returned to his human body. From the spirit spring a new figure arose, a giant snake holding in its colossal mouth a sun-like sphere of light. Okay, now that is an impressive light spirit, Utsukushi said in approval. Hero Namikaze, my name is Lineru. Your efforts have at last restored each of us light spirits in Hyrule, Lineru said grateful. It was the least I could do to help, especially since you had no one there that could do something, Naruto answered with a gentle smile. O hero chosen by the gods, the dark power you seek, it waits in a temple set in the bed of Lake Hylia. But before seeking it, you must bear witness to something, and never forget it. The light spirit answered. No, don't listento him. Midna yelled in horror. Midna? It is his right to know, Lineru answered calmly. Don't tell him. He'll hate us. He'll hate me. The imp girl said, shaking her head wildly. The last part, just a whisper the blonde caught only because of his sharper senses resulting from Utsukushi's presence in him. It was the will of the goddesses that we lock away the forbidden power. He must know what you were trying to recover, Lineru answered. And you did a damn good job. 2 pieces completely corrupted whatever they touched because you decided to leave them lie around unchecked. Naruto said sneering. Hey, I still believe in you, okay? I am here. He then said, hugging Midna as tight as he could. Okay, she muttered before returning inside his shadow. When all was chaos, the goddesses descended and gave order and life to the world. They granted power equally to all who dwelt in the light, and then returned to the heavens. Those lands where the goddesses first descended came to be known as sacred lands, Lineru explained. Get to the point. What happened that fucked up things so much? Naruto asked with crossed arms. For ages the people lived at ease, content in mind and body, until a great battle ensued. The light spirit answered. Let me guess. Someone decided to reach the sacred lands for some reason? Naruto asked. Exactly. Among those living in the light, interlopers who excelled at magic appeared, and by wielding powerful sorcery, they tried to establish dominion over the sacred realm. Ugh, I am getting bad Madara vibrations here, Utsukushi said with narrowed eyes. It was then that the goddesses ordered us 3 light spirit to intervene, and we sealed away the great magic those ones had mastered, Lineru said. The fused shadows, Naruto muttered, making Midna flinch visibly. Exactly. O hero chosen by the goddesses, beware. Those who do not know the danger of wielding power will, before long, be ruled by it. Never forget that. Look in the sleeping lakebed temple in Lake Hylia. In there you'll find the dark power you seek. The light spirit said before slowly fading away. Without saying a word, Naruto just walked out to look at the still water of the lake in silence. That did it. He hates me now. Midna thought in sadness. What a bunch of bullshit. She heard him say, snarling. the imp girl said, floating out of his shadow instantly to look at him in the eyes. The dark power we sealed away from the evil monsters that were masters of magic and blah, blah, blah. As if I don't know how power works and how it corrupts people, the blonde said while walking on the water towards the shore. You're not angry? Midna asked in surprise. Sit here, Midna-chan. I think it's time me and Utsukushi explained to you what a Jinchuriki and a Biju really are. Trust me, if I got things right between me and the fused shadow, there is not a lot of difference then. He answered before sitting on the sandy shore of Lake Hylia, patting the spot next to himself. Okay, she answered as she floated in a sitting position near his head. A little background. All started when a man named Hagoromo fought against his mother Kagaya. The former shinobi started saying with a calm voice, ready to fill his small friend with as many details about the elemental countries, his life, and what brought him to Hyrule, so to once and for all help Midna realize why he had so vehemently defended her and the Twilight Realm, and why he didn't judge her mission to retrieve the fused shadows as negatively as she feared. It was high time she too learned something about the strange man she decided to ask help to and his life before his arrival in the foreign land guarded by the goddesses. Omake, Jiraiya's Hylian misadventures breaking up. Konoha, Hokage office. Shizen. I have a problem, Tsunade said while rereading for the fourth time the last letter Jiraiya had sent her after his second visit to Hyrule after the goddesses finally stopped broadcasting smut in everyone's mind. Having deemed the overwhelming jealousy both men and women were now irradiating at the mere mentioning of them, or Naruto's name enough. What is it, Lady Tsunade? The loyal assistant answered curious. Read this. I think Jiraiya just broke up with me. The woman said with a confused expression. What? Dear Tsunade, I am sorry, but I finally found a kindred spirit here in Hyrule in the form of Telmaheim, a woman whose love and passion is all-encompassing and boundless. I hope you will find in your heart the strength to move on. But we were probably not meant to be. You two were in a relationship? Shizen asked. Not that I was aware of. He just used to make some perverted remark about me and my posing for his book. Does it mean that even the perverts are starting to ditch me? Tsunade said slowly. That's it. If even a super pervert has moved on, it means that I'll have to take matters in my hands. Shizen said while grabbing Tsunade's hand to drag her. Where are we going? Tsunade asked. To find you a man, Lady Tsunade. If even Jiraiya-sama has admitted defeat, it means that your situation is getting desperate. We'll start with some blind dating before hitting chat rooms and singles nights at the bar. If worse come to worse, we'll put an ad in the local newspaper and hope for the best. Shizen explained. I'm not such a desperate case, right? The Senju woman asked, now positively worried about remaining alone. I really hope not, but I do believe in miracles. Shizen answered before kicking open the door of one of the most crowded bar of Konoha. For some reason, I find that answer more insulting than what it should be. Tsunade muttered with long streams of tears escaping her eyes as she went dragged through every possible bar, night, stall where free men and women usually stalked when looking for a partner. Meanwhile, Hyrule, Telma's bar. Hey, sweetie, look what I found, Jiraiya said while merrily showing a pair of furry handcuffs with a lecherous grin. So the bad boy returned? The punishment was not enough then. Telma answered with a glint in her eyes, who said that I will be the one tied to the bed this time. The toad sage answered, took you long enough to come here in Hyrule. My dear, I was starting to lose hope about finding my ideal man, she answered. Same goes for me. Had I known, I would have looked out for you sooner, Jiraiya answered, grinning like mad at watching the bar's owner walk with a sway of her hips towards the door to move the sign on the closed side. That day, and the next the Telmas will fail to open, but at least Naruto had one problem less to worry about while running around Hyrule, being a hero. That's it for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you do, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out author of this story. Thanks for watching. Take care.